Hey everybody, this is Nancy Norbeck with this week's Creative Pep Talk, and I want to talk to you today about the power of community. Most of the time, we tend to think of creativity as a fairly solitary experience, and there's good reason for that. If you are a painter, odds are you're not painting in a group. Now, there are probably places where that happens, but most painters work alone. Most writers work alone. Dance is a little different. There are dance companies, people work in groups for that. But a lot of art happens as a solo enterprise. That said, there are things like writers' groups, and they can be really powerful because when we come together to do our art, even though it's an individual enterprise in that case, we can get a lot done in a group. The same is true for anything that, we can bring together, even if we can't actually do our art in a group. For instance, I'm thinking of someone that I talked to recently who pointed out that expressive dance isn't really something you can do in a co-working session, and she's got a point. But if you come into a creative community, there's still a lot of value to be had there, even if you're an expressive dancer and you're not actually doing your thing in that moment. So I just wanted to float the idea that community is a really valuable thing. And it doesn't have to mean co-working. It doesn't have to mean that it's a writer's group. It could mean that it's a group of you and your fellow painters who get together to meet once a month and just talk about what you're working on and just feel like, hey, you know what? I'm not in this alone. I know other people who are working on the same kind of thing as me. And you know what? It turns out they're dealing with similar stuff. I'm not alone in the issues that I'm having and the struggles that I'm seeing, or maybe the achievements that I'm seeing. Hey, isn't that great? We don't think about that a lot. We tend to only think of the hard stuff, but we share a lot of the same good points too. When you're working in an enterprise that's solo, it's really easy to feel like you're the only one, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And that gets really, really lonely. And that can have an impact on how you see your creative work and your creative self. And it just gets really, really tough to take sometimes. So, think about the power of community. Think about how you can bring that into what you're doing. See if there's a meetup group. See if there's a group you want to start. It doesn't matter what it looks like necessarily, as long as it's working for you. And to that end, I want to announce that I am going to change up the way that I'm doing free workshops, because I want to make them easier and freer, not just in the financial sense, because a free workshop is already pretty free, but in the sense of just making them easier and kind of lowering the bar to entry, in the sense of making them less daunting to participate in. Having a themed workshop and having it be a 2-hour workshop every month can seem kind of, intimidating sometimes. And I want to make that easier and less intimidating for people. So we're going to try this as an experiment starting this month. I'm still going to do 2 as an experiment for now. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 2 sessions on Wednesdays, not on the same Wednesday. So what I'm proposing is that a week from today, the day that this episode is released, so on July 17th at 2:00, we're going to do a 1-hour free session. And it's going to be a really laid back session. Anybody can come. You do not have to have a particular creative pursuit. And it's going to be a conversation, and it's going to be an open conversation. I will pick a topic, but you can come with any creative issue, concern, celebration, whatever you want to bring, or you cannot speak at all if that's your preference. No one is required to speak at all. I may offer up a quote. I may have a prompt. In fact, I will almost certainly have a prompt. And, may do a little bit of laser coaching depending on who's there and the level of interest in participating in a conversation. And, we'll have a little time to do some writing or drawing or whatever your particular creative pursuit is. If you can do it on the call, obviously. If not, we'll default to writing just because that tends to be easiest for people to do easily on a call. And then we'll close on the hour. So we're going to see how that goes. We'll do the same thing 2 weeks later on the 31st at 7 p.m. And I will have the sign up links in the show notes in the podcast app. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll have them there too. And I will have them scattered around on a Substack post and maybe some other places to make it super easy to sign up. You'll get reminders in your email, and we're going to give it a try. We'll see how it goes, because I would really like to build a creative community of all sorts of people, just getting together, getting to know each other, forming a group that supports each other, just comes together once or twice a month, because nothing says you can't come to both of these sessions if you enjoy one and you want to come back for the other one. Feel free. If neither of these times work for you and you want to propose a different one, I'm totally open to this. I've pretty much just picked dates that sounded good to me, that, one's during the day and one's in the evening, that fit my schedule, but I'm open to suggestions. So please let me know. Feel free to invite friends, neighbors, family, coworkers, anybody you think might be interested. It's a free session, so it's open to anybody, and it'll be on Zoom, and we'll see how it goes. And, I hope that it turns into a community that, we can keep going for a while, because it's a powerful thing. It helps to sustain us. It helps to feel less alone, and it helps to have a place to celebrate, so that, when you accomplish something, it's not just you and your thing and no one else to help you feel really good about it. And also to have somebody help you through the rough times. It's all good stuff. So help us celebrate the power of community by forming one. And, I hope to see you at one of these 2 sessions later this month. See you next time.